Growing up wasn't easy. I was bounced between two different homes made from my mother and father's divorce. In one home was discipline and strong parenting, in which my mother and stepfather worked tirelessly to undo the damage my father created. In my father's home was neglect, abuse, and lies. Instead of encouraging me to better myself, he taught me to be lazy and selfish. He set an example by never working and making food scarce. Walk in my shoes as I discuss the cards I was dealt and how I changed my life. The time I spent with my father impacted more than just my home life. At school, you could say my card was the Joker instead of a king. I was a troubled student, bright but disruptive, angry and confused, but most of all, just a boy looking for his dad's approval. I tried every sport and every club to impress him, but he never cared. As a young man looking for worth, you can see how my self-esteem was destroyed. So at 14, I tried to hang myself. But by an act of God or destiny, my stepfather and mother stopped me. Afterwards, I slept for days and I stopped seeing my dad. My freshman year, my father overdosed as a suicide attempt and died, likely to try to see me and my brothers one last time. After that, I made a horrible decision and got expelled from school. I narrowly avoided being sent to a juvenile institution. While being dealt this hand would be considered a failure to most, instead, I was given the opportunity to draw new cards and change my life. I began attending an alternative school where I was able to get my life back on track. At the alternative school, I entered a program called Jobs for America's Graduates. JAG made me change my perspective. Having a positive environment to practice functional skills for the workplace day to day, it changed how I saw school and made it easier to get through the day. The program worked for me and many others around me. I learned skills I wouldn't have otherwise. I'm now able to put on a suit, get a job, and thrive. Last year, I came to DC, and it changed me. I left my small town a student, but returned a leader, surrounded by success. I got much needed closure with myself to decide my path. As I have learned from JAG, I realized I am not a product of my environment, I impact it instead. I have chosen not to be a product of the cards I was dealt. I'm no longer blaming my choices on an environment that created chaos. I have turned from a repeat juvenile offender into someone who takes charge of their own existence. Instead of neglecting academics, I studied. Instead of looking for fights, I found my peace. Instead of blaming my problems on my past, I worked to change my present for the better. JAG has given me skills I didn't know I needed. It was hard, but now that I'm legally an adult, I've made the choice to be a good person. I am not my father. I will work hard to guarantee my success, and I will invest in myself in every decision I make, and JAG helped me get here. JAG will impact more than just me. Although the cards of life don't always seem fair, there are opportunities like JAG. I firmly believe that if JAG works for me, it will work for others. Through public speaking and learning to lead, I gained confidence. I surrounded myself with the great people who are a part of this program, my classmates, various leaders, and good Samaritans in the community. Without these positive influences, I would have had no hope. Without my JAG specialist, the outstanding Mrs. Joan Dietrich, I wouldn't have the drive to pursue my success. Although my father is gone, and after all I've been through, I still face hardships to this day. Just last year, I lost my home in a devastating flood, while my stepdad, a veteran, continues to struggle with PTSD and severe injuries from Iraq. My mother recently had to leave her job to become his full-time caretaker. My family and I have had to endure these hardships together. Nonetheless, with the skills I have learned, and with a conscious change in lifestyle, I can handle anything. Without experiencing all the hardships, and without the help of many along the way, I would not be who I am today. Let it be known that hard times come to everyone, but hard times never come to stay, they come to pass. Use the opportunities you have been given to better yourself. JAG, the trip to Washington, D.C., your JAG specialists, and your classmates. Find these opportunities in your life and change the world. Thank you.